In the final days with the department for West Bloomfield Police Chief Mike Patton, township officials and board members commended Patton's contributions, describing his retirement as the department of a, quote, pillar of the community. And we actually are being joined live right now on the splash with the West Bloomfield Police Department Police Chief, Michael Patton. Thank you so much for being here, Chief.
Good morning, Kevin. Thank you for inviting me.
We appreciate that. A great opportunity to have you here and just talk about your career and reflect a little bit and talk about the future. Just kind of starting off, looking back, nearly 40 years of service with West Bloomfield. Are there any moments or achievements that stand out to you the most?
Well, first off, I want to be grateful to Civic Center TV and Radio, 89.3 Lakes FM, for all the partnership that we have enjoyed with you over the years. You really are a treasure here in the community, and you're at every event, and you highlight everything that's positive and decent here in the community. We're very grateful. Look, I look back over 40 years, people have been asking me what's prompted me to consider retirement. And I start out by saying, well, it's only been 40 years, and maybe there's perhaps time to move on to another adventure in my life. But I look back at all the richness that we've enjoyed here working and serving in the West Bloomfield community. And I was very fortunate that my law enforcement aspirations led me here to West Bloomfield. I've had a very rich and full career over all these years, eventually having the great honor of leading just a tremendous team of men and women in public safety service here in the community. And I've been very fortunate in that. And I think I look back and, of all the successes that we've had here, all the challenges too, right, and I'm all grateful for the men and women that I serve with here.
See, one thing I can say about you, Chief Patton, is some of the different events that I've attended as a member of Civic Center TV, as a reporter here. I tend to see you or other representatives from the West Bloomfield Police Department, but just speaking to you and your active involvement in the community in West Bloomfield specifically, how do you feel like your active involvement with the community actually shaped your approach to law enforcement and leadership in general?
Well, I think, look, it's important to be out in the community. We engage in what we generically call community policing. And so you see us at, almost every event. I was watching your previous interview with Laura Nazuri from our Parks and Rec about their Winter Solstice event. We'll have officers from the West Bloomfield Police Department attending the event, sometimes for public safety, but also just to show our support for our community partners like Park, who are really wonderful. But it's important to be out there in the community. As a chief of police, you're out there and you're listening to people and you're seeing them and you're listening what their concerns are sometimes. And you're taking that back to the team and telling them, look, we're meeting with people. This is what they're saying. This is what they'd like to see you do better or different. And I think those are important communications to have. There's a lot of our communications are done nowadays. People communicate a lot on social media, which is very important. But it's also important to be seen out in the community, that they can actually not only put a name, but a face to who their community leaders are. That would be including the police chief.
100%. And I want to add to that, because if police aren't around just for the regular, normal community events and things like that, sometimes people associate seeing a police officer with something that has happened, something tragic. So you're wondering, why are they here? Or something that could possibly happen. So to see them out just regular events, Winter Solstice, Signing Day, or West Bloomfield High School football or sports events, it just makes us all feel more comfortable knowing that they're just part of the community too. So thank you for explaining that and adding more context to it also. One thing that I'm not sure everyone is aware of, as we are preparing for the transition for you to retire and Deputy Chief Dale Young to step into the position as Police Chief for West Bloomfield Township, people may not know that you also, Deputy Chief Dale Young earned his right to become chief, but you also recommended him to become your successor. So can you just speak on the qualities that you saw in Deputy Chief Dale Young to actually recommend him being your successor?
Well, look, part of my decision to retire was also the confidence that I had in maybe who they were going to appoint next. And again, that's a township board decision, and they sought my input on it. But I was highly recommending Dale for the appointment. And look, he's a very experienced guy. He's a very measured guy. He's very smart. But one of the things I've always appreciated the most about him is he's also very curious. He was a guy that would come in and ask questions on how does that work? And what was your decision making about that? How did you figure that out, Chief? And I think that's good to have that kind of curiosity. Like, we always indicate everyone's always trying to be a lifelong learner. Dale's finishing up his master's degree here by the end of this month. And he's really committed to that. He's really committed to being a good in touch with both internally with the membership here, but also with the community too. And I think he's going to be an outstanding leader in the next generation here for the police department.
It means so much more knowing that you put that stamp of approval right there, too. So thank you for adding that. With us right here, live on The Splash, we have from West Bloomfield Police Department, the current Chief of Police, Mr. Michael Patton, talking about his tenure over the years, talking about passing the torch, and also plans for the future. But real quick, kind of reflecting on a few things. The community and board members, as we talked about earlier, they express a lot of gratitude for your service, and thank you. I want to thank you for your service. How has the public's response to your retirement impacted you personally, if at all?
Well, it was very humbling. You mentioned the board meeting this past Monday, and so many people with the community came out to share their best wishes and appreciation for my service here in the community. And honestly, I mean, look, I've always not shied away from that kind of attention because one of my points is it's never about me; it's about what we do for other people, and I really believe that, and I hope others will hopefully believe that too. But I was so grateful to have so many people come out and say so many kind things. And I always like to think that's not just a reflection on me, but it's really because of all the great men and women here. People talk about what a great job I've done, and I've always kind of pushed back on that because I want to make it clear that there's a great team of men and women here 24/7 doing all this hard work. And I've always been blessed that, I just turn them loose every day. And I do what I do, my job is the chief of police, but I get them the training, the equipment, the staffing, and leadership. But they are really the rock stars. Our dispatchers answering their phone, our police service aides, meeting and greeting people at the front counter, our civilian support staff, our mechanics, our maintenance people. Everybody is part of this great team here that contributes to providing half of the public safety services here in the community. And I'm so always grateful for them. But I just turn them loose every day, Kevin, and I have a great job, doing that. So I've always likened myself being a conductor of a great orchestra, a little more woodwinds over here, a little more horns over here.
Yeah.
But they're the talent. They're the ones playing the instruments every day. They're the ones out there when it's hot and when it's cold and showing up on the scenes. And my job is to support them and get them everything that they need because they really are the rock stars.
That's spoken like a true leader, Chief. That's spoken like a true leader. I can respect that and honor that right there. And just to kind of reflect on things, your almost 40 years of service right here in West Bloomfield has inspired a lot of people, whether they want to be in law enforcement or not. So with that being said, you have any advice you would give to people, future leaders of the greater West Bloomfield area who aspire to make a positive impact on the community, whether they want to be in law enforcement or other areas?
Well, look, we've been fortunate here in West Bloomfield. I mean, we've always been a destination police department for people wanting to be a police officer and have that career. But it is a noble profession. And I think that's what we need to highlight on there. We can always point to areas of improvement or even failure sometimes, but it's still a very noble profession. And we can be picky and choosy in who we bring onto the team here. And I have that obligation as the chief of police. One of the biggest important things that I do is getting the right people in here to the team and assigning them the right jobs inside the department. But it's important to do all that kind of stuff. So we still want the best and the brightest people here to come and serve. It's a wonderful community to be in service to. They are highly supportive of everything that we do here. And it's anyone that comes here knows that, you are blessed to have landed here in West Bloomfield and to serve this community.
100%. I can agree with that, sir. I think it's very important also, as you are transitioning into your retirement, do you want to share any hopes or goals that you have for the West Bloomfield Police Department and or the community that it serves?
Continue on providing the greatest quantity and quality of law enforcement service. I mentioned at the board meeting the other day, if I can always leave everybody that to serve and protect others is really the highest calling. And that service really coming every day, remembering that you're placing the needs of others ahead of your own. So despite the difficulties and the challenges that you face, they're worth it. It's worth, serving a community and protecting and serving people. And it's a rewarding career too. And at the end of the day, you remember all the great things, all the people that you helped, maybe the lives that you saved. And as you're sitting one day in an old rocking chair somewhere, you'll look back and know that you've done a great job and for a great community.
There you go. Well said. Thank you so much for those kind words of wisdom. And we appreciate everything that you've done right here in the greater West Bloomfield area. Once again, West Bloomfield Police Department Chief of Police, Michael Patton. We appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you too. Thank you.